Stand in the middle of the goddamn street.
We were in the middle of the goddamn street. Go ahead, try to hit us. See what happens.
If I wanted to hit you, I would have.
Okay, let's see it. Let's see.
Get out of the damn street and stand
We're
back
in
by
the
the
street.
car.
Yes, mask.
Especially when there's a car coming up.
Obey.
The sad part is I said I knew you wouldn't hit me, but then you tried.
I didn't try it. I was just trying to.
You don't know when you're driving.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. Town. Council member trying to hit us. Whoa.
I didn't move. Because I wasn't. We were sitting right heart. Let me try. Somebody tried to.
Sorry.
Not really.
Yeah, 19 miles from the town.
I did up Springfield, but I never done a walk there. That's the wrong
way. Yeah.
That was awesome. Sorry we couldn't make that name.
Yeah, I had that. That was good.
We missed the little house called No, whatever. I don't know.
That was
I've been thinking about that. I have so much. Question there.
Two winning and one home run. Two. And then, 200. Still.
She made me rice.
They got scared of this to leave. Yeah, they got the yeah.
Are you guys coming or what are you doing? Oh, that's my
And the issue you didn't have months before. It's you never had to pay for it. Last year, I remember that.
But they gave me
James.
commission, I said, out there we go. So, I always try to get involved. Yeah. No matter what it is, I'll fight for the
Back to the dance. And
Oh, I can let her. Actually, let's be wait, 17 or 3 tons. I was like, I'm getting
It was the first weekend.
no, it's regular pool dance. Me too. I was still out of there, that truck was rocking back and forth, I'm like, okay, something not cut.
Yes.
So I really tried hard to do it, and I just.
Yeah, it's out because they can't do anything to get around.
We're supposed to. The company made sure
Yeah.
I get the radio on.
They have collaboration.
You should have that. I get to see if I know yourself.
Did you have? Review package. There's three things I'm going to be asking, talking about, like, one looking at security for the festival we had last year. Tyler and I sat down and we did. We paid for one and so and so we would that would happen and ask me. Consideration for you. It's a lot of money. This is the back to school and at a whole initiative. Starting the first Monday of September.
Well, you're on the agenda,
There you go. I like some sort You guys. Let's go and start this. Sorry, pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
roll call.
Mayor Pro Tem Bovino.
Here.
Ms. Gilman. Ms. Gonzalez. Here. Mr. Piano.
Yes.
Mr. Porter.
Here.
Mayor.
Okay, approval of the agenda, the only change is under new, we won't go into executive session. Reason being, we had talked to the attorney and he said they didn't consider some other matters. We didn't have to go to executive. Need a motion on that.
Motion to remove the executive session from our agenda.
Check.
Mayor Pro Tem.
Yeah.
Ms. Gonzalez. Yes. Mr. Piano.
Yes.
Mr. Porter.
Yes. Hearing approval of the agenda.
Motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Second. Mayor Pro Tem.
Yes.
Ms. Gonzalez. Yes. Mr. Piano.
Yes.
Mr. Porter.
Yes. Approval of regular meeting minutes for June 22nd, 2023.
Second.
Mayor Pro Tem?
Yes.
Ms. Gonzalez? I think I have to. So I didn't get it until Thursday, right? This is one of the. Mr. Piano?
Yes.
Mr. Parks?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes. Approval for special meeting minutes for June 27, 2023.
Second.
Mayor Pro Tem?
yes.
Ms. Gonzalez? Yes. Mr. Piano?
Yes.
Mr. Parks?
Yes.
Approval, special meeting minutes for July 11th, 2023.
Approve that presented, yes, there's some questions.
Second. Mayor Pro Tem?
Yes.
Ms. Gonzalez? Yes. Mr. Piano?
Yes.
Mr. Parks?
Yes.
Approval of special meeting minutes for July 18th, 2023.
Motion to approve that presented, yes, there's some questions.
Can't hear you.
I'll make a motion to approve unless there's some questions.
Thank you, sir. Second.
Mayor Pro Tem?
Yeah.
Ms. Gonzalez? Yes. Mr. Piano?
Yes.
Mr. Parks?
Yes.
Approval of special meeting minutes for August 2nd, 2023.
Still can't hear you.
I'll make a motion to approve August 2nd, 2023, special meetings.
I can.
Mayor Pro Tem?
Yes.
Ms. Gonzalez? Yes. Mr. Piano? Mr. Parks?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes. Yeah. Yes, Debbie?
First of all, I want to thank each and every one of you for helping make Agawam a success. I think it went over really well, and thank you very much for all of your help and support. So with that being said, we do have this bill that is outstanding for the security. And last year, I know that you had a phone vote this year, but I don't know if you had all of the information that you needed to have for that vote. And it was that Tyler and I sat down last year, but every previous year, you've had a marshal as an employee, and that employee helped with security. Last year, you didn't have one, so she said, well, we brought it to the board. I'm not gonna say she said it, it's okay. We brought it to the board and they approved that you would pay half of the bill. You would pay for one deputy and we paid, Friends of Agawam would pay for the other. This year, we're asking for the same consideration because it is $720, which is a good chunk of money. Would you be willing to consider paying that half again this year?
So,
You're saying we approved it last year?
Yes, you did. And I have.
What meeting would that be on? Because I want to see minutes, because we didn't.
Okay, I'm sorry, I will get, I'll dig that up for you. I did not do that ahead of time. I didn't know that was gonna be a question. That there is a check. Sarah, would you by any chance be able to pull that up quickly or not? Probably not quickly.
I don't.
Or if we could, because you didn't have one, I mean, it's always been, we split it. Because you had an employee that did do it. And because you didn't have an active employee last year, you did approve. It was approved, but I will be more than happy to go through all the minutes to find it.
So I know one year, I think the very first year you had it, some of the town, trustees that went down and volunteered to help for the security one year.
The very first year, yes,
Yeah.
because we didn't have a marshal then. But then we had a marshal up until last year. It was the first year during Aguilar days that we did not have a marshal to participate. So we had to ask the sheriff's department to include 2 instead of 1.
What was the board feeling?
Table with George for the next meeting.
No, let's go ahead and decide now. I mean, it turned out really good. It was nice with community and stuff. I don't want to hold anything up. So, I don't know. What do you guys think?
Open for discussion.
They were here for 8 hours. That was wrong with us.
And that's gonna be for 2 deputies?
No, you pay for 1, we pay for
And
1.
that's 360?
That'd be half of 270, 720, so it's 375, 360.
I make a motion that we split the bill in 8 for half.
Second.
Thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem,
Yes.
Ms. Gonzalez? Yes. Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Mr. Morris?
Yes.
If the court in this situation, I will make sure that I come to the board before this.
Make sure that.
I promise, I will, okay?
Thank you. Thank you, Debbie.
Okay, that's-
Debbie, I want to tell you, you do a great job. We appreciate it.
What they,
It did, turned out good.
it did, and I think everybody really had a good time. We didn't have
It was
any bad.
great. It really was.
Thank you. The next item that I wanted to talk to you about is another thing that Friends of Aguilar has done for several years now, and that's the back to school dance. We would like to have it in the park, so that would take your approval to have it in the park. The school cannot back us up on this as even an alternative. If the weather's bad, we're going to have it out there, because the school says that we're not part of this, we're not their group, we're an outside group, and it's not a fundraiser, and it's not. I just want the kids and the families to get together again. I have already gotten 1 donation from a couple to help defray the food costs, so that we can have it a nice, reasonable price there, if not, very, very cheap, so that they can come out and dance, and the families can get together and interact with them. It's always turned out to be really good. I've seen a lot of families come out there, and we'd like to have it again this year. There is one concern, is the bathroom's going to be available that night.
The what?
The
Bathrooms.
bathrooms.
I think there's,
Are they
still in good shape.
No,
But he's got till September 15th, you can get him up there to fix it. Well, no, we need to get it fixed, period. Regardless of this event or not, we need to get it fixed. If we have to call somebody else, call somebody else.
so would it be possible if we could use the part-time?
The motion that, they go to Town Parks on Main Street for
Please,
September 15th.
I second it.
Mayor Pro Tem,
Yes.
Ms. Gonzalez? Yes.
Mr. Piano?
Yes.
Mr. Ford?
Yes.
The third item, I'm sorry, I didn't mention in my agenda, is that I did get a hold of and talk to Veronica Mays, who is head of COP. And we will be able to start the senior lunches again, starting the first Monday in September. So we would have them here on Mondays and Thursdays for the seniors, where it would cost them $2 to $2.50 a meal. So I just wanted to let you know that we got that going, and I'm really happy. It's been a long road to get this going again, but I really think it's important that they get out and socialize. Okay, is there any questions for me?
Yep. Nope, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Dr. Chairman.
Utility report. Right now, we don't have any people out there working, so we won't have a utility report. Office report.
I didn't see one.
Yeah, no utility, no office report. So now we have, old business, trash in town. So, yeah.
Can you guys speak up, please?
We can't hear you, Sarah.
Up at the Blade place.
Okay.
Somebody went in there and threw a bunch of trash, and we originally got a while back, to get a,
Need to speak up.
decided to get a dumpster in there,
Thank you. Now, that's better.
and then, call the fire department to burn the rest.
Because if I remember right, on the burning, we couldn't because there was too many appliances and everything there, right?
Yeah.
If I remember
So
that
they were gonna
right.
load all that stuff into the dumpster and then burn what was left of the branches.
And did we get bids on the dumpster for up there?
I have no
I
idea.
know we did for Aguilar, for the,
Yeah, we were supposed to get bids and we were supposed to check different companies. Did you get them?
I think it's like $400 for
if we can get somebody, if we can get somebody hired and they got, they can operate the backhoe and everything, we can probably use our backhoe and get a little bit that.
Bad thing is, we got one trash company, so what do we do, go out of town and start going to?
There's another place. I looked into those for our own personal use. But they're both expensive. Like I said, they're $1,200 and $80 for the dump fee.
Speak up, please.
They go by the way when they go in the trash and dump as well.
Well, the thing is,
Either way.
yeah, you pay for the dumpster and then I think it's like $80, if not more. Dump it.
And it has certain regulations. It can't go over the top. It has to be tarpable.
No
There's
tires,
certain
no
things that they
batteries.
don't allow.
They have no appliances. So it's up to the board what you want to do, you know, what company you want to go to, if you want to use the one on your firewall or get another company or something. Let's see.
Well, we're still gonna have to load it, though, so do we figure out how we're gonna get that done? It's a little premature.
Yeah. So you guys want to table this then?
Anyway,
On that part, but with this other stuff with the town property, especially like here with the town park, the bears getting in the trash dang bad.
Oh, every day.
So I was gonna throw out, why don't we try to get like bear-proof trash cans?
I know they've been looking at them now. They got those ones like with which you have at the, like, state parks and stuff. They've been looking at those, and those are running right around $500 a piece. But I know they looked at another company, and there's something similar to what we have now, but they have the locking deal where the bears can't get in. But they have been looking at several options on the bear-proof cam. But yeah, I agree. Every day it's picking up trash, and I mean it's scattered all over the place.
I say we get it looked into, especially for next season.
Well, something like that, I had asked if we can use lottery funds, because it's for parks and stuff like that. So we can replace, I don't know, X amount of cans and stuff in the park with that lottery money. So we're about that.
Yeah, we're too late to make the one deadline, so we're probably gonna be February, March deadline.
So I know the state prison system up in Kansas City, I know they built those. They have a facility down, I can't remember which one it is, but I know they're there. If we can try to contact the state and see what kind of deal, we can get for X amount of cans. And they do have the ones with the single doors, and they do have the ones with the double.
Regardless, we need to check into it, see what we can do to get something bear-proof these.
We keep our tree next week, because he's got a week to travel to next week.
Can't hear you.
Oh, yeah. Okay, we got rid of the executive session. Now we have utility workers. We've got two several utility workers. One, he didn't last but 2 weeks, 3 weeks maybe. And then the other utility worker, he's been on administrative leave, so it's up to the board what you want to do with that one tonight.
So how do we want to go forward? Do we want to do, COPA first? We have to have two motions, I believe, on the two people that we've recently employed.
So I need a motion on Mr. Coca.
I make a motion to terminate Mr. Coca.
Mayor Pro Tem?
Yes.
Ms. Gonzalez?
Yes.
Mr. Piana?
Yes.
Mr. Forrest?
Yes.
And the second person is Brandon. Like I say, he only lasted 3 weeks here.
I make a motion that we also terminate Brandon.
I second that.
Mayor Pro Tem?
Yes.
Ms. Gonzalez?
Yes.
Mr. Piana?
Yes.
Mr. Forrest?
Yes.
Interview new utility applicants. You want to go in order the way they are in the packet, or are you want
Yes.
Just the way they are, I guess.
I do need one person for that.
Just to renew.
Ringen, full-time
Is he full?
application.
Okay.
He's got a job.
No? Richard. Rich.
Mr. Duhan, are you here? Yes. You want to come on up? What's this? Just by looking at your application, I mean, you have a lot of skills. Is there a reason why you wanna work for a town of Radar?
Just my daughter, experience, starting to understand, yeah, been doing stuff. About me.
And I saw your rate of pay. It's for the town, it's real high for us. I mean, that's up to the board. If you guys want to start them out at minimum wage, or if you want to start them at like 16, I mean.
We need to get more, we can't just keep doing this, we need to find somebody we can rely on.
Right, and the thing is, it is here too, but. Any other questions or anything from the board, or?
What's, sorry, no, go ahead.
No, you're fine.
What's the minimum to take?
And I just got her age yesterday, to even more, so.
I mean, I don't see you take a huge cut, I mean.
Probably the one you turned around. $10 an hour cut. But per diem, I know that's not. Some,
You pay for your own insurance and stuff? They pay for it? And your family?
Anything else? Any other questions?
more to
No,
show
yeah. You know, unfortunately, like Joe said at one meeting, a lot of people have skills, I mean, and they're great. But for the town to pay that much an hour, I mean, that's hard.
It is nice seeing his skills and he's got it.
Oh, I know.
He's not trashing there, but
I mean, I'm not gonna just say I'm not gonna take it if you guys tell me I'm gonna see what I can do about it, because it is for my family that I want.
And what does the board feel about starting them off at 16?
I feel good with that. Yeah. I mean, even with the qualifications he had, I'd say he's like,
It's up to the board.
We gotta do something.
How much overtime?
Right now, unless we have a major break or something, there ain't a whole lot right now.
about 4 hours a weekend, that's it.
Yeah.
2 hours Saturday, 2 hours Sunday. Do the chores.
Not,
Your holidays are paid,
We don't do overtime with that, we do it's all time.
it's overtime.
It's overtime.
Yeah, you don't work
Okay,
comp
that
time.
or not, okay.
And then imagine, the gas you're not spending anymore either, or the fuel. Okay.
Come, English. Like,
It's hard to leave that job, man.
it is, but 2 weeks away, they grow up fast.
we got a couple more to interview too, I mean, because we need two, not just one, we need two. But it's hard on one person to go ahead and try to get all the chores done, everything done in town. It's hard for one person, but we actually have to hire two.
I don't know, I say we, no matter what, start them off definitely at 16. If they get through the probation with a raise. After that, make sure they're doing good at their probation. And stay at a 60-day probation, or 90-day probation, not this 120.
Well, that's
Yeah.
too much.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Kind of give you a chance to prove yourself, you know what I'm saying?
And then we talked about a pretty decent raise after that. And that'll go for everybody, and not just you.
What does the board think about
Like, what's it?
How many more do we have? Just one more? So these two? I don't know, I say we go ahead with Mr. Luhan if he wants to accept and starting him out at least 16 an hour for now, depending on,
What can you start at?
can you take 17 if we offer it?
You couldn't,
Good.
That's $20, but
not from,
I
I
mean,
know,
it sucks, but at
I know.
the same time, I'd rather provide too.
Whatever the board thinks, I mean, you guys
I mean,
have your
I'll
opinions
talk
too.
with her and see. I can say yes.
Go ahead and talk to your wife and everything, and then you guys decide your finances and stuff like that, and then get back with us. Before it's fine with that.
Sure.
So,
yeah, let's look into this a little more.
and then, like I say, get back with us, let us know.
Okay.
All right, thanks for coming in.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next one.
That's kind of right. See here? That's Kyle. No, that's not right.
I heard you in here. Trying to make up your bill there. Side. Yes, you got respect, huh?
Good job.
Yeah.
We see clearly now.
Yeah, there it is.
There again, would you, be able to go ahead and start out at 16 an hour? When would you be able to start? The board, I mean, what do you guys want to do?
If the status and everything shows that you passed, you're ready for your license, you'll have your license by Monday as well.
Try to get them off, go down and off, get it.
Well, we asked him to, and he's done everything.
Should have had a license.
So what does the board feel?
Here we are, if he comes up with a laminated license.
What's the license?
And I say yes. Motion on Mr. Private. Second, Everson.
There you go, sir. And as soon as we see your learning, the license, you'll have. We appreciate it, brother.
Well, we have a motion, a second.
What do we need to?
Okay, so yeah, he's got his repetition. Oh, I know, I'm just saying, gotta do that, so.
So, when will you be able to schedule one? You have a good phone number, you can hold it?
719 845
Get hold of Sarah tomorrow about 10 o'clock. Or do you think sooner? I can't hear you.
I'll call him. I'll make it.
Okay. Sure, go ahead.
Well, all right, thanks for coming in.
Thanks, Tyler.
Gerald said that. No problem.
Mayor Pro Tem,
Yes.
Ms. Gonzalez? Yes. Mr. Piano?
Yes.
Mr. Forrest?
Yes.
MGM.
What's going on for the year?
Ken, are you here on a part of that with the MGM or no?
Oh, no, Mike is running a little late, so we were just moving on.
Okay with that?
Just to the bottom, he'll be here, but he's running late. So retired.
Now, under executive session, if we were gonna have it, Mr. Forrest was here to talk to us about what's going on with, the augmentation plant and everything. He's not actually on the agenda, but he was supposed to talk to us and, that's it.
Well, Mayor, if I may, I can direct general public, the initial issues going on with the reservoir stuff, so this way everybody's aware. And then the attorney, Jerry McDaniels, he's on his way to get to his office to have a Zoom meeting, work session, or other issues.
Okay, so.
I can,
The one reason that we took off the executive session is because we discussed that this wasn't technically a personnel matter, and that it wasn't appropriate to meet outside of the public's ear for this particular issue. Technically, you do have to notice if you're going to have an agenda item that you're going to make a decision on. If this is informational
no, it's just
only,
information.
then that's up to the board and the mayor. And of course, if it's something there's a significant, sounds to me like it's the water system, and everybody's very interested in the water system. So I would say it's appropriate, sir, to let him speak if you wanted to.
I'll stand here. Just want to let the entire community and the board know, we finally got the project out to bid for the augmentation reservoir. USDA has the funding in place for this project to take place. We had a pre-bid walkthrough 2 weeks ago, and we had 3 interesting contractors build a reservoir. So that's good news. We had some technical difficulties with the SGM, the engineering firm that the attorney wanted to talk in executive session with council. But just to let everybody know, I mean, it's on track. The funding is there, and with the help of the board and the staff, it's going very well. The other issue I want to report is that I applied for U.S. School Development Grant for the town to now that you hired Black and Beach as your engineer for next phase for your a new water tower and your chlorination filtration building. So we got a process going on, finishing it up, so this way we can get that going. And with the help of the staff, the building stuff, they've been very helpful. So once we get that going stuff, we're going to try to get that funding to help offset the cost to pay the engineering firm. So this way, once he calculates what the town needs as far as a tower and chlorination building, filtration building, then we can go after you, funding with DOLA, Department of Local Affairs and Energy Impact. And Tara Marshall, we've been in touch with her. Once we get this information, we'll try to apply for a grant for about almost $1 million, pay for more majority of this. So that's the next phase of here, so that's why I wanted to address that. That's pretty much what I got.
I think Tara's on Zoom. Is she on Zoom?
Yeah.
I'm here.
Hi, Tara. Just letting everybody know the help that you've been helping the town of Bangor with stuff. We appreciate your efforts, trying to get the funding for the town of Bangor and stuff, Thank you for working very good with the staff and myself to sort of try to see this through. So I just want to commend you for your efforts to try to get this done for the town of Bangor.
Thanks, Kim. We'll do everything we can to help. That next grant round will be December 1, and the maximum award will be up to $1 million. So look forward to working with you and the staff to put the application together.
And that's pretty much all I have to say for now. And then Jerry, now is the attorney, he'll be on Zoom here if it's appropriate to go into executive session regarding some legal issues we want to talk about.
Tyler, did you get a hold of Jerry?
Maybe, but he's not home.
He had a doctor's appointment, he said, he's running a little bit late. So, and that's all I have to report for now.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Quotes for tires for Tahoe.
These, ones here, sir, are from Walmart. These are Steph, whoever got them, yeah. And that's with the installation of mountain balancing? Or it's just the tires?
I think they're only 6 wide.
The one from Walmart?
Yeah.
10 for.
Oh, they can? I didn't see that on there. Yeah, yes. And the other ones we can't find.
Written rating.
They were light truck tires, so I'm sure they're not 10 wide.
Like the key reading, no, they gotta be at least 2 over there. I don't know, the key readings, they're up there, Mark. Even these other ones, the key readings too. But if that's just the price of the tire, you don't know the mountain balance and stuff.
One was 18 bucks a tire. I think, if you go include it, they won't have some more heated, but I think in there.
They're at 22 a tire.
Yeah.
So,
They gave us a bid for 2 different types of tires.
we can't hear you again. It's gonna be roughly under $72 out of on this.
Guys have microphones, please use them, I cannot hear you.
It's gonna be another 72 out of
What
on
were
this.
they better for? They're not gonna let you hear. They don't want you to hear. Please use your microphone.
I mean, it's a simple thing, and you wouldn't have to have people upset. It's real simple. And just like the lawyer picked up that mic to be courteous to the citizens of this town.
The person who picked that up was very nice.
That's right.
It'd be nice if you could hear. Yeah. But we're disrupting the meeting. I hate to, but But why do I come to a meeting if I can't tell? Exactly.
Exactly.
Be quiet, you might get arrested. Be quiet, don't disrupt the meeting.
Oh, all right.
Pretty good handles.
He gets free strikes.
I mean,
It's a simple thing. You did it.
Right now,
It's
we're
simple.
looking at the bids.
But we'd all like to hear what's going, what you guys are saying, though. No, we can't hear
It's a public meeting. And it's the same way every time. And all you gotta do is pull that mic in like Joe does. You can hear
We're
him
looking
loud and
at
clear.
3 different bids on the tires for the top.
The people wanna hear. Is that a problem?
No, I didn't want to say, I got my microphone, I'm doing exactly what you asked.
Well,
But everybody
We
has.
have 3, I'm telling you, we have 3 separate bids, okay? We have one for $489, one for $787,
The attorney had about.
and another one for over $1,000. So we're trying to figure out which is gonna be best for the town.
Right, and it's the taxpayers' money. They just wanna hear where the money's being spent. Just like this gentleman is, you can hear him loud and clear.
I'm not arguing, sir. I'm not
Okay.
arguing with you.
But nobody speaks up when people, elderly people, people that can't hear, come in here and they just want to hear you. And
Okay,
why
so
can't
we're
you
looking at
just
these
allow them
bids.
to hear
That's
you?
what we're doing right now.
Just like you just did. It's not hard. Nobody, we just want to know what's going on. That's it.
And you too. Thank you, sir, for using the mic.
Say that again, I'm sorry.
They told you what it was. We're looking at the bids.
Thank you.
They just told you what the prices were.
Yes,
So everybody's looking.
that's
at it
all
right
anybody's
now.
asking.
Okay, thank you.
It's not hard, man. Just like the lawyer picked up that mic without anybody asking, so everybody could hear him.
Yeah, what does the board decide on the tires? Who do you want to go with?
I don't think they want us to do.
Honestly, that last quote for over $1,000, I think is a bit much. I don't know what ply it is. It doesn't really say on the bid. It doesn't say if it's a 10 ply or what kind of a ply. Okay, so that's a 10 ply quote.
Low range E is usually 10 ply.
Okay. And what about the 787 one? That's also a 10 ply? It's just a different type of tire? Okay.
So what is the board deciding or decided what tire to go with and what company to go with?
Well, I say if it's only gonna be $18 per tire in, that's mountain balancing, I say we go with the GT Radial Adventures AT3 LT 10 ply from Walmart. It should come roughly around 612. If it's at $18 a tire.
They're voting on paying for the tires of
What does the board decide? You want to go with that or what's the decision of the board?
They're going to 10 high tires on the top of. So. I guess.
So it's up to the board to go ahead and decide. Mr. Forrest already made a motion or?
No, I didn't make a motion, I just stated my opinion.
I make a motion that we go with the tires from Walmart.
Make motions to go with the Walmart tires.
For the GT Radio,
Yes, sir.
I second that.
Can we ask how much those were?
Estimated total was $544 with an $18 per tire.
Roll call. Joe second that, Gerald made the motion.
Mayor Pro Tem?
Yes.
Ms. Gonzalez?
Yes.
Mr. Piano?
Yes.
Mr. Forrest?
Yes.
Is the topo in shape to make it to Trinidad?
Yeah, and, it's also gonna need an oil change too.
Do it while it's there.
Yeah, well, it's there, so.
Well, that's preventive maintenance, needs to be done no matter what. So
That's right.
I think they just go to 2
Did you say 500?
Yeah,
18 per.
the total would be $616.
Apply for DOLA funding.
I think Ken kind of talked about that, I think we need to.
I'm sorry, Mike, what did you say?
I think Ken kind of talked about that.
That's what you talked about, wasn't that, Ken?
So we talked about that, we did some, the issue regarding, the project for the augmentation.
Do we need a motion for that, for him to do that, or?
I don't.
It's on the agenda, right? So we need a motion?
No, that'll apply.
Okay. Well, then I make a motion to go ahead and apply for the DOLA money.
Second.
Mayor Pro Tem?
Yes.
Ms. Gonzalez?
Yes.
Mr. Piano? Mr. Forrest?
Yes.
Navajo liquor license.
They're voting yes for the DOLA funding to go back for
That's, we know it.
the DOLA funding for the reservoirs to.
I'll make a motion to go ahead and renew Navajo liquor license.
Second.
Mayor Pro Tem?
Yes.
Ms. Gonzalez?
Yes.
Mr. Piano? Mr. Forrest?
Yes.
Yes, Navajo station.
Paul.
License.
Hopper sewer tap, I thought we had talked about that.
Is that the one down there? Yeah, I know.
That's sort of more time, so.
Yeah.
He wants to get a sewer tap.
Right.
Because you guys said you would allow sewer taps. So he wants to get approved to have the sewer tap put in, and then when the water gets. That's what he's saying.
We didn't approve the sewer, I thought we did.
No, because we didn't approve the water. People don't.
No, we did approve the sewer, but we didn't approve the water because we don't, because of our water situation, but we did approve that they can put a sewer deal in.
How much are your sewer taps now?
In city limits is 3,000 plus $10 per linear foot from the main to property line.
How about
Outside
out
is 6,000.
6,000?
Wow. So what do we need to do on that?
We need to make a motion.
You need a motion on it?
I move that we approve the sewer tap for.
I didn't say that. Oh, I'm not sure it was.
Paul Hooper. Sewer tap.
Jerry McDaniel. Showing the meeting.
Mayor Pro Tem?
Yes.
Ms. Ms. Gonzalez?
Yes.
Mr. Piano? Mr. Forrest?
Yes.
They're almost gonna be on over there, not discussing something else that we just want to wait on.
Tell Jerry to hold on just for a little bit. Mike?
You could do him if not her.
Here, you can hold on just a moment, Mr. Jones.
What's going on, Mr. Mike?
Too much.
Need approval to, I got new meters coming in tomorrow.
Oh, just take it with you.
New meters coming in for the crumps tomorrow. And I want to see if you guys will approve concrete vaults. So I don't have to dig them up every time.
That's gonna be up to council and what are they running, Mike?
Probably looking, you guys have an account with Brown's Precast, so you're probably looking about $800-900 concrete vault.
How many vaults?
3.
They don't have any plastic tubs that you can get from Dana Ketner that are that big or no?
The ones that are on there now are like 2 foot. You could barely even see them.
That's too far for anybody to get down there with.
So every time I got to change the meter, I had to get up. That's why if I put bolts where you could get into them, you change the meter and never have to do it again.
And they just put the ones at the wells?
Yes.
Up to council. What you wanna do, I mean, it's,
Do we have the funding for it, or where can we get it?
Is Tyra still on?
Is Tyron? Do we have the funding for this type?
Or what are we doing? I didn't hear that.
Mr. Marcus from MGM wants to get some cement vaults to put around the meters, pits, and at the wells, 3 of them. And he said roughly an estimation between 800 and 900, give or take a little bit more or less.
Yes, it is in the budget.
There won't be no extra cost on me. I'll just charge them straight to the town. And then you guys take care of it.
and you said you need what, 3 mic?
3 of them. Or 1, 2, and 3. Crump.
Okay, we approved the vaults for the 3. Are the 3 wells?
The 3 valves, the crump 1, crump 2, and crump 3.
For all 3 wells.
So that big piece of culvert you have, that'll go away.
Good. I second it.
Roll call.
Mayor Pro Tem?
Yes.
Ms. Gonzalez?
Yes.
Mr. Piano? Yes. Mr. Forrest?
Yes.
They voted.
And how's the water, going, Mike?
I talked with Manuel Torres. They have a underground reader, but since that pipeline is PVC that goes to the deal, it's gonna be hard to detect a leak. If it was ductile iron or cast iron, we could do a lot and listen to the ground, but with it being PVC, it don't make no noise.
So what other solutions do you have?
None yet. I mean, I can't dig up the whole pipeline.
Did you guys get the one shut off that going back up Bird Street Hill?
Yeah.
Trying to figure out why you're still getting more.
Now, I got a question for you. Up there in Mauricio, where we feed the cistern, there's a valve up there. Turn that valve on, it feeds the cistern. Turn the valve off, it kills. But if I leave the valve on, I start getting vacuum out of it. I shut it off, I start getting pressure.
And how does that work, or how?
I think it's tied onto the old pipeline.
The other thing is, like, that's a 6-inch line coming out. And we got the gallon gas about going, pretty much kept that line full. Now it's only running about a half. I think it's drawing air back, and you're getting it back, and that water passes.
Yeah, but if I leave that valve open, we have no water. If I close it, I get water back.
I'll let you crank it far away.
So what I was asking is, do you want me to tie that cistern onto the new line? Or do you want for me to find the old line, dig it up there, cap it, and leave it all in there?
I didn't know they were going up that old line.
Yeah.
Now it needs to be a new line.
My opinion, I think we need to go ahead and get it capped on as new one so we don't have any more problems.
Okay, that
But
consists of
that's my opinion.
Okay. That consists of crossing the county road and everything else. Yeah. Okay.
So is that what the board wants to do?
Doesn't that line come right down the middle of the county road?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay.
So for house, what part of the road are you gonna have to tear up?
Probably all the way across because I think the pipeline's in the field.
Yeah.
Yeah, the old one's out in the field.
Yeah.
The new one's out in the road.
I think it's the opposite. I think the old one's in the road and the new one's in the road.
Yeah, I think the old one's in the road too. Yeah, because that valve coming out of the very west is still sitting there.
See, with no tracer wire on it, it's all exploratory. Gotta dig until I find it.
Well, the old line should have been cast iron.
Yeah. So if you're gonna plan on tapping on the new line, we'll go up to there's a hydrant up there that they put, we'll dig up that valve, abandon it, cap it, get rid of it, disconnect everything from that old line.
So where that hydrant is the new line that goes under that ditch, comes back up.
Mhm.
And we had a valve in there that was an air valve. And for whatever reason, Virgil decided to put that other valve in there, release air in itself, instead of putting that air valve in there.
We could put a new air valve if you want that.
Well, that's the way it always works, I mean, it's fine. Otherwise, no problem happens, you guys gotta go up and open that valve. That thing gets plugged under that, the Roy, just like happened to me. Pain in the ass to get that water there.
So, yeah, I would say, go ahead and put that,
valve like it is.
well, that,
Air, you know.
yeah, put the air with it and
Yeah, what I wanna do is dig it up, just leave the hydrant you have there, get rid of the pit and everything, then it's just the hydrant there, not the lock. That way everything's underground and
When
open.
that locks up, somebody's gonna have to go there to open that up and try to get that water back. You know, sometimes with that well, if we open it.
Well, that hydrant acts as that air valve, Mark.
I know it, so it doesn't always work. You gotta fight that water through that damn thing, wait till it happens anyways.
Well, it's better off fixing the problem than creating more.
Yeah, exactly.
so what's your opinion on it, Mike?
Tie onto the new line, and then, like I said, dig up that valve, abandon that old line completely, or it don't come down the road anymore, and the old line's gone. I mean, cause I think it's coming back and going towards Healy's, you know what I mean,
On that old line?
on the old line. We installed a valve at the pressure vault, so that could kill everything going up Tree Hill.
See, the line coming down from Tree Hill, went all the way down to that main valve at the bottom of Marbury County Road. But we used to have a gold valve in there, we call it gold valve. We set the pressure on it, so we'd be backing enough water up out of the Tree Hill creek. So, but using that water. The water comes down out of Marbury and stuff goes on down, because it's on this side of that.
Don't go out to the pressure vault for to back up the water now. Well, the new pressure vault that's up there, that's what it's for, to back up the water. Slow it down.
Yeah, from the Tree Hill creek, not from Marbury.
It's all tied in.
They did something different up there then, because I went up the other day, I didn't realize that's the one pipeline comes in here, the other one comes in over here.
Yeah, and then there's a valve here, and a valve that they had put in, that runs to the Tree Hill, and then we put a valve behind it to kill that Tree Hill. So everything runs through the pressure vault. Yes, I can. Okay. And then the other thing is on Waller's water line where we put in the new pipeline, they want me to re-gravel and everything.
I don't think they got gravel on their field now anyway.
It's an abandoned road.
Cause they said that if I'm going to go in there and dig it up and tear it up, they want the gravel put back in it.
But there's no gravel on that,
There's a little bit of gravel there going down that driveway.
and that's it.
Yeah. So it's up to you if you wanna do it or not.
You're talking about it, they got that road vacated, that's their road, it's not our view.
And that road you're talking about, Mike, is the one over next to the fence.
Yeah, that house in the back.
And the house in the back, across the irrigation ditch, and one that follows the irrigation ditch.
The one that's across the irrigation ditch.
That was Shirley Garcia you slip?
Well, that's way up above.
Yeah.
See, they changed everything, they brought the line from the back of that old house that fell down or whatever, where that new building's at, and tied into that house over there. So now I gotta run a whole new line down the driveway to connect them. And since I'm gonna tear up the driveway, they want gravel and everything put on, so I gotta have to.
Did Waller's buy that house this year?
Yeah.
One down behind Dodge Ray.
Below you.
Yeah. They bought that.
I wanna say yes.
They did.
Got that line down there by Chaveros there?
What's that it?
Got that line down there by Chaveros over there? On the lake property?
One that's already over on the Goulet property, yeah.
Yeah, it's not gonna interfere with that property there, right?
He's tying a new line in for it.
Huh?
He's tying a new line in.
Yeah.
The Goulet's house already has theirs taken care of. It's not gonna interfere with that.
Okay, that's all I need to know. Because that property no longer relates, that property is my property.
Yeah, no, you got, everything's already taken care of with that, it won't interfere with that.
Alright.
That's why they want him to go down the driveway.
I'm having problems with any of the problems that are already going on already as it is. You know what I'm saying?
So when are you gonna get started on that?
Okay, next week.
How much gravel do you think we need? I just want to ask that, how much gravel?
Measure it to see exactly how much we need to cover the road.
I say table that one, bring it to the next meeting.
Like, if you don't have too much more, we can do it next week. I think it's good to work there.
We want to try to get Cam Lutz done next week. Cam Lutz is water line will be done with that.
We don't have project.
Yes. And then I got a list of new repairs to do. I gotta go look at them, but if they need new pits and stuff, you want me to just do what we've been doing, with the yokes and everything?
Well, it's gonna help when we just buy that.
Gotta do them right, like, you know, we don't wanna have to go back and do them again.
It's ordered, that's more material. Now, the last question I have is, I'd like to put a 2-inch master meter on the line that goes to Wallers.
Right, in fact, I wanted to bring that up, I think we need national meters on them. Eventually, on all these lines that we bank on.
Yeah, all the private lines.
What would a master meter do?
They'll measure everything that goes through it to see if the meters are actually registering what's actually going through the pipeline. Because we're gonna connect straight to the pipeline. So you know exactly what goes down there.
That's a good idea.
So it's up to the board. Make a motion on it.
Can I say something? I mean, I know, I'm not part of this conversation, but, ruled that, U.S. Department of Transportation has some special planning areas. I know it's critical. I can check, I don't have this other stuff, I can check tomorrow, if we're not there by Monday, just to see if that would cover municipal planning for these master meter and some of this other stuff. I mean, that's what it's for. I mean, with all this infrastructure funding that the state of Colorado receives. I can check on that, just probably need a number, you know, a number of what pitch you need, a number of limit for the pipe. We call it emergency service repair for the town's project and stuff, you know, so just something to think about.
The estimated cost. I gotta find out how to show it down.
I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, that's,
No, I think
that's a good
thanks for the
idea.
input. Thank you.
Until I know what's in the ground, I don't know what to connect to.
That's the line that we got at Fairway.
The line that goes down, crosses the ledge on there.
We're going back south. Yeah. Well, we're going close to Wallace, because I got 2 caps on it, Wallace got a cap. Wallace got the caps on it, and the Dia has a cap on it. And it's right up there, it's to the east of that.
And if you guys want to put it in, right at the edge of the city limits, that's fine with me.
Well, that's where the it's just outside city limits, right next to the,
I went to put the master meter there.
we came up from midnight.
Well, once you get all that prices and stuff and all that, and then get a hold of Mr. Forrest and maybe we can get something to.
And all I need just estimated cost, just to, right, we can explain with a little bit.
Okay. And then the last thing I need is, I need the Mauricio well rework. It's not coming enough water.
It's not pumping enough again?
Surging, it's pumping and going back down, pumping and going down. It's not a continuous, it's not. It's slow, it's go up there, it's not.
Is that was still getting a vacuum on it too? The Mauricio? Is it, you know, that surging because of airlock or vacuum lock or whatever spot on it?
I shut it down for about an hour and it'll pump good for a long time. And then it just, starts surging. Up and down.
If you went up and looked in that gully, you could put it on that gully and see what it's doing. Like you give you an indication that that gully's right. That's why.
Well, the guy said that Mauricio is one of the main producers.
Well, I know. As long as that gully's
Can't hear you,
not
Mark.
water. As long as that gully's not water.
The guy that works for SPM,
There's a water line around there.
there's not any pumps
So it's not pumping.
on the lines.
So you mean by reworking and getting the well service in here and do it then?
Yeah, 2-inch.
You know, I'm in there to clean it, purge it, do everything it needs, and then put everything back in.
Over here,
Well, there's only one company around that's got a camera, we can say, well, the other ones don't even warranty their work, this one does. They do it all.
Gotta get it when you first go well, I tried to go, very west and group or something.
They had an issue with a certain town employee, that's why they didn't want to come back. They said they would come back now that he's not a fish.
So what are you talking about?
Andrea Well Service,
The one in Vita?
Bar Walsenburg.
Walsenburg, no, by Walsenburg, Vita.
Yeah.
Somewhere from that area.
They warranty their work and stuff. The other ones come in and drill or go do this and that, but that's it. When they're done, they're done.
Cause I can shut the valve down and it'll pump up 70 pounds of pressure, so it ain't the pump.
So it's up to the board, if you wanna go ahead.
What do you think we need to do?
Do it. I think they need to pull the pump out and everything and clean it, purge it, whatever they need to do to get it flowing like it used to.
That pump hasn't been cooled since.
Still gonna need more bids.
Pardon, so she'll get a bid from Andrea.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll get a couple bids on that and then we'll go with. So that's
I talked to Sharp. I talked to Sharp and I talked to Andrea. They were both down in Helium Fields. They said it'd be December before they could be in here. And then I talked to one up here on the interstate on the truck stop. And they said they didn't want to mess with it.
Yeah, go ahead and get the quotes, bids.
put out a bid, but yeah, get the concrete one
Is this even
for
on?
that. So get that done and then, whatever,
Cause my meters are supposed to be here in Pueblo tomorrow.
okay. And that's for the ones down in Cerveros or?
No, that's for crump 1, crump 2, and crump 3.
Yeah, get the concrete ones so you can get those set and.
And then you just pull the lid off that stairs that go down and you could access it real easy and never have to do it again.
Yeah, go ahead and get them ordered and
Okay.
get them done.
Yeah, I hope so. I hate to see people looking here.
Well, crump 1, I can't even get to it. It's about that big. And the meter's that big.
Anything else?
Okay.
Anything else, Mike?
I think that's it.
Together, get a professional chorus.
I'll work on that material this
That'll work.
Thank you. Thank you,
So I will have to order more meters, skids and stuff. Bye.
After, once you do that, I mean, when you're talking about the plastic ones or concrete?
Both.
Now, when it comes to that, we'll say it, I guess. Anything else?
Anything else for me?
I think that's it. Thank you.
That's it. Thank you, sir.
All right.
Oh, sorry.
We already taken executive session on.
Yeah, they should.
I mean, the thing is, we have to talk to Jerry and them. What's your input on that?
Um, So, and Gerald, can you hear me okay, Mr. McDaniel?
I can, but I think the voices is really, echoing a lot.
Okay,
When
yeah,
Tyler was talking earlier, I could hear her perfectly, so I don't know if she's speaking into a phone or into a microphone.
no, I'm gonna speak into a microphone, you should be able to hear me okay. And I certainly didn't mean to step on your toes. When I saw the executive session, I didn't realize that you had requested that. But my understanding is that that has to do with a private contractor. And I advised the mayor that, it's kind of attenuated to have a executive session for a personnel matter on a private contractor, especially if that private contractor isn't been given the ability to request that it be made a public matter. And so I didn't know the whole story, and I apologize if I stepped on your toes there, but that was the advice I gave the mayor, and they removed that from executive session.
That's not a problem. I sent a memo over, and I guess it's in the board packet. And so if they have any questions, I'm happy to try and answer those if I can understand the questions.
Yeah.
Or I can do it by email or connect with Mark. How would you want to do it?
That'd be great, sir. I'm happy to actually I'd like to reach out to you and just kind of get a quick synopsis, and then possibly I can, me and the mayor, or me and I believe Ken has something to do with this.
Yeah.
We could just have a quick meeting, and so everybody can get on the same page, and we can do it that way.
It's not a private contractor, it's a contract with SGM, the engineering firm doing the
Okay.
consulting work.
Right, okay, and I just didn't have all the information, but I still think that's probably a good call on our end. So we can talk, Mr. McDaniels, and then I can relay information back to the mayor of the board, and we can do it some other way. I can get Ken in the room, and we can have a couple of them.
Tomorrow, are you talking about a phone call?
Yes, sir, just a phone call.
Okay. Can we set a time? It's like 11 o'clock at the time?
It may or may not be depending on my service, and because I'm traveling tomorrow, but how can we set it for the afternoon, or I can just email you offline and we can determine the time?
Yeah, just email me, let's set a time, that way I can make sure I'm off the phone.
Yes, sir, I'll do that.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
I'm
Gerald.
signing off.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jerry.
Thank you.
You bet.
So yeah, what we'll do, Ken, is, like you just said, we'll set up a time and all that with you, our town attorney, and Jerry.
Yeah. Tomorrow, the sooner the better. So this we can get the notice out to the contractors and give notice to the SGM engineer.
I'll email tomorrow. We'll shoot for tomorrow afternoon. Sounds good. That's 1 o'clock maybe. So that'll work.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ken. No correspondence, approval of bills.
Thank you. Gotta be done either way. I'll make the motion to approve the bills. Second.
Mayor Pro Tem?
Yes.
Ms. Gonzalez? Yes. Mr. Piano? Ms. Forrest?
Yes.
Joe, what did you say?
I make the motion to approve the bills.
And then you said something else, what was that?
They gotta be paid anyways.
Motion for adjournment.
Second. Aye.
Excuse me, I hate to be the elephant in the room, sir, but nobody was allowed to speak against the public. There was no sign sheet up at the table. We were not allowed to sign them. Normally, we speak right after whoever's on the agenda speaks. So is this the way the meetings are gonna be held every month?
Well, since we're all here and the meeting's adjourned, this is all informal. If you don't mind if I just introduce myself and say a couple of things. My name is Clayton Bookner. I'm the newly hired town attorney. I'm happy to be here with you all. I see a very passionate community, and I see a board, and I spoke with the mayor earlier privately, and got a feel for, the board's passion, which is they do care about this town. I see a community that cares about the town. One of the issues, has become how well we conduct business at the meetings, because some of them obviously aren't fruitful, and some of them, are or can be. And I think we have. I'd like to finish what I'm going to say, because I think you guys would like to hear it. And I absolutely agree. So one thing, I can't give advice until I understand kind of what's going on. And two of the things that I see here, that I'm going to advise the mayor and the board, and they don't have to take my advice. I'm not a decision maker, but one of them is definitely going to be to have either individual microphones or be adamant about speaking into the microphone like I am now. One, because I can't always be here, and remotely it's very hard to hear unless you're speaking directly into a microphone, and we have the system. And I have spoken with Ms. Porras, and we are looking at getting a better system. And I think that'll go a long way to opening that public communication. The second thing that I see that that we do want to implement, and this is something that I did, this is me, I advised, because we had a very productive meeting. This time, I think we can all say that we actually got stuff done. And I know that the public wants to make comment, I understand that, but it has to be done in a way that is progress for the town. And so what we're going to do is implement public comments for agenda items, and then we're also going to have a time for community to talk to the board about having those agenda items. Because if we don't notice an issue on the agenda, and then we have a community member come up during public comment and say something, and I'm sure that it's an issue, and I'm sure that the community wants it addressed, and I'm sure the board wants to address it as well. They cannot address an issue that hasn't been noticed. And so we're getting into this crazy merry-go-round where the community wants them to do something, and I understand that, but making public comment about it, and it's something that's not on the agenda, is nothing more than that. It's just lost words, because they can't do anything about it because it hasn't been properly noticed. And that's not their fault. That's statutory requirement that agenda items are noticed and then discussed. So we're going to work on initiating a system whereby public comment actually means something, and that your public comment will go towards part of the decision-making process for the board. And so we're going to do that by having public comments for certain agenda items, and then having public comment at the end of a meeting, all within a certain time limit, which is the right of the board, and it's also good for everybody, so that one person making a 25-minute public comment doesn't take in other people's time. And that at the end of the board meeting, I'm going to advise that the public have a chance to ask for the board to put on agenda items. And so we're going to have
meeting, like, to put agenda items for the meeting for the next month.
Yeah, typically that's at the end, where you'd have people sign up for like a 1-minute public comment or request to have an agenda item put on for the next meeting. And then
we're able to go over there and sign up at City Hall and be able to be listened to here at a public meeting.
Yep. That we're going to work on how we're going to do that
Or if it gets swept under the table, you guys just all like, your toes being stepped on. The public wants to know what's going on. You guys ain't answering them.
Well, that's like I said, we're going to work on that. What I see, like I said.
You guys go.
Okay. Anyway, I wanted to introduce myself and say that, we're going to work on it. But, having decorum in a meeting is very important so that we can actually get things done. So that's going to be our first priority, and that's why the sign-up sheet was taken away, because what happens is just that somebody wants to be heard, and they get upset, or they want to talk over everybody else, and we can't get anything done.
I beg to disagree with that statement.
Who decides what's important?
Let me just give you a small background. I get up here almost every Monday if I'm at the meeting. And I always address the stuff. Sometimes I ask somebody to resign, sometimes I bring up solutions, but,
Listen, sir, I just didn't want to walk out.
yeah. Last year, just me and myself, other people, I've been threatened, I've been harassed, people tried to intimidate me for a whole year. So when I get up here and let them know what happened, I expect them to not do something about it, but at least talk about it. So the guy that was here that they just fired, the maintenance guy, he's been harassing me from like March all the way until the time he is gone.
Well, one thing you have to understand is that for a public comment to make sense, the board has to have the authority to address it. So when we talk about law enforcement issues, like those crimes, the board can address that.
I personally will not call the sheriff for any of those issues. They're not issues that I don't.
They tell us to take it up with the mayor.
Right, the sheriff told me to take it up with the mayor, and then the last two times.
And then the mayor says, take it up with the sheriff.
That happened in January. Both times that I called them, they told me to get a restraining order. I went to the courthouse, in February to get a restraining order, and the judge there that issues the restraining orders told me I don't know. And the two times that both of those incidents happened with Mark Piano, the sheriff department didn't even come and get us. I didn't expect them to knock his door down and arrest him and throw him on the ground.
This on Mark Piano, everyone's wanting us to go by the rules and you're setting them pretty stiff for us. Yet ordinance says that man resigns whenever you miss 7 meetings. It's in your.
The rules are for thee, not for me.
So he shouldn't even be here. And then we have another open seat. Then you voted her into this thing.
Yeah, her.
We're not represented. He can't get a word in edgewise. And I requested that 3 of us speak to the council calmly to straighten some of this out. We don't think like we're represented at all. Mark Cameron, by ordinance, should not be there.
And the only person that we voted in wasn't in here to represent us
The only
tonight.
one who voted in was that one lady, and we should be able to vote on these other seats in. This is the council picking your wife to sit on it and then not saying anything, but you want us to follow the rules. Yet the ordinance says that he's not even here. So we're not represented. This man's not.
Right.
Right. And most of the time that I get up to speak, I'm always interrupted by at least 3 or 4 people during my minutes. So sometimes the minutes do go over, but I've been interrupted by a bunch of people.
Right, and that's definitely one thing we need to work on is one person speaking at a time. It really does need to be relevant to what they can discuss because they're bound by the statute. And third, it's got to be something within their purview, meaning they have to be able to actually help you. Otherwise, it doesn't help you to make a public comment about something that they can't fix. If the sheriff can't fix it and the judge won't issue a restraining order, I don't know what I'm not saying it's not important, but I don't know what the board.
I've been told by you guys to bring it to the mayor, right? I have audio of this. I have documented evidence. Bring it to the mayor. That's what I'm told by these guys right here. If we have an issue with these guys' employees, we should bring it to the mayor.
Right.
This is what we're instructed by the sheriff's department.
I don't know the situation, but I'm sure.
I'm trying to tell you.
The deputies would take care of it. So that's not, I'm not aware of any of this. So I'm just answering this as in case a person questions.
This guy has his name on the contract for them. Of course, they're not going to do anything against him. These guys.
I'd like to request again that 3 of us from the town be able to talk to the council in an open discussion, calmly discuss some of these things. We're not being represented, not fairly, because like what you just said, they can't listen to some of this stuff or they can't make a decision. yet they don't follow your own ordinance.
I remember an old
The only
saying that said
ordinance-
no
the only
taxation without
The only
representation.
ordinance that's followed is something
I remember
against me.
that.
You've made ordinances against me in 2 weeks' time. There was no first reading, there's no second, and you want us to do right, but we can't get you guys to do right. That's why we want to talk to the council to address some of this. The whole town is upset.
Yeah, and our First Amendment isn't kakamamy. I mean, we really do know what we're doing here. We're standing up for our town.
And we want to be the town. We don't want the few people here when they can make it, and if they're sober when they make it. We want a real council to speak for us.
And there's a process for that, and I'm happy for us to go through that process.
And that's exactly what we're trying to do, is get a conversation with 3 people on one committee and everyone in an open meeting so we can discuss some of this. These are real problems here. We're not disrupting the meeting. We just want attention to these problems. They're not giving it to us. Tonight, you seen with microphones, how many times this man couldn't hear nothing. He's sitting right there on the speaker.
He's a veteran.
The people don't come here to look at everybody, right? They don't
Right.
come here to look at you guys. No disrespect. They're not coming here to look at her, Mark, any of us. They're here to hear what is going on with our town. That's it. And so you gotta understand why people get frustrated. They're not here to look at you.
The 3 minutes is important to us because we can bring up different subjects that's not on the agenda. And that's what they tried taking away from us, the meeting that they said we disrupted, that never became a meeting, because when he called for the pledge, Mark and her walked off.
Well, I think we can all agree that we all want to work on it together.
Yes, and so can we get a committee of 3 to speak to you? I'm asking you.
So that, well, that's not, are you asking for that to be put on the agenda?
However it has to be done.
So if you want to speak to more than 2 board members at the same time, it's gotta be.
I would like 3 people, and not in a chair here. This chair here, here's what this chair here is. You got a spotlight here on you, and we're sitting here grabbing our nuts. You know, why don't we have a table in front of us? Why don't we have a podium? Why are we put in this position? This is an intimidation tactic.
Vern, I actually take that point seriously, and I think we can get a table there, but let me clarify something for you. What 3 people are you talking about? You're talking about 3 people, the board?
Bob Romero, Dave Goldie, and myself.
And you want to talk to the whole board?
Yes.
Okay, so that would have to be done in a public meeting.
Yes.
With an agenda item. How about this? I'll talk to the mayor about how we can reach out and see what the issue is, and if we can discuss a agenda item with parameters, so it's not just a free, like it's not a boxing match.
We would go with parameters.
So if we had parameters with objective evidence and reasoning, and then a request, then that's something that we will, I think I would advise the mayor to at least entertain, but I'd like to see that first.
May I email you tomorrow and
you can, yeah,
conversation?
I'm not gonna speak directly. I can't,
Well, you can
have
send,
conversations
you
with
can carbon
individuals.
copy me to what you
Mr.
said.
Yes, it'll be a group sort of email situation.
Yes, I'm good with that.
I would like to get to the bottom of it for
So-
you and for the board.
So obviously, like, we didn't vote for any of you guys up here, but like, did somebody vote to remove our comment, our public comment? Like, did that ever go to vote? We don't vote on that kind of stuff?
Good to be here. We're gonna see.
Yes, so we'll make it all right. Thank you. Sir, thank you very much.
Well, let's do this.
All right, let's step outside, guys.
Well,
I'm being honest. You ain't trying
All right. Well, all right, guys. About it for tonight. You know what I mean? But we did it. Asked the attorney. He don't want to hear nothing. I was trying to ask him, you know, we didn't vote none of those people in, so who voted for the fucking no comment? But he didn't. He decided he didn't want to talk about that. All right, be safe, man. Yeah. So I tried to ask him, but he was done talking. So now he's in there talking to the sheriff's department, thinking he's gonna work something with them. He ain't gonna work nothing with them. They already know this camera and the way it works, you know. So they're in there having a powwow. So. Oh, man.
I brought my little cigars with me, but it must have fell out in the back seat, and I had this in the back. When I got down here, I went to go smoke a cigar, and they're not in there.
I think that lawyer was lied to a little bit.
More than a little bit, because he didn't really understand anything really I was telling him. He was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Good night.
No trouble.
So when I got up, I was deciding in my fucking head if I was gonna start using the F-bomb right off the bat, just tear it up, or just get up and start talking.
Well, like about 15 people in there.
More than I was expecting earlier.
Baba. Damn. Somebody had to marry it. Might as well have been this guy. Battery's going low. You know. Battery's going low.
So I got some pictures of the attorney when he walked in and sat down. I got a little bit of video, not like 2 or 3 minutes here and there.
Yeah.
A couple of them, and then there's some other photos. So if you want, I can go by there tomorrow and let you send them to your.
Yeah, we'll see what I get. There's a few others I think they
your
got
phone
pictures
number or
too,
something.
so.
Yeah, you see, because somebody else's might be really good. And he doesn't. I don't think he's
in there having a meeting with Joe Boris.
I don't think they told him very much about what was going on here, because he seems to be an adult on the law.
That's the mayor right there, guys. He runs this town. Just need to obey him. Obey him. Obey, obey. Yeah, I think it's what he said, John, and if I don't know if you guys could hear it that well, but pretty sure that's what he said. You advised him. Look how red faced that he is. It's funny. Your face like a cherry tomato. Oh shit.
Yeah, let it shut. They got a
Oh,
second.
oh, they got something going. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. Thank you, gentlemen. Have a good evening.
You too, man.
Nice meeting you, sir. Hey, Joe.
See you guys.
Have a good night.
And there he goes, guys. First Amendment's kakamamy. You know? It's there, kakamamy. Special meeting. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what he said in there. You know, it's their choice, but, you know. It's their choice, but, you know. Yeah, pretty sure that's what I heard him say. Yeah. Well, fuck, guys, I suppose that's it for the evening. Here comes the Marin as well. Whew. Just the mayor. All right, guys, I appreciate y'all being here. We'll catch up with you on the next one. That was a long one, dude. 2 hours this time, hey. You know? And they started that meeting a little late, so there's that. There's Tyler's ex-husband. All right. All right, guys. Appreciate you. Thanks for all those thumbs up, too, man. You know, appreciate that shit. Guys, be safe. Have a good evening. Whoa, what the fuck was that?
Lightning starting to